friends. This is Amy from Hudson Valley Knits, and I am winging it today. Today is Tuesday the 28th. I recorded on Sunday, but it was just a big debacle, and actually Sunday was not a great day. I was kind of in a slump, so I decided I was going to put it up today, and I looked at it, and it looked terrible too. I had like dark circles. So I decided I'm working from home today. It's lunchtime and the sunlight is beautiful outside and I'm just winging it here from my desk. I'm like, what the heck? I'm going to re-record. It was a short one anyway. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I forgot to grab something downstairs. It's very important. Okay, I'm back. This is, I guess, what happens when you wing it, right? So if you haven't noticed already, I put an extra thread in the Hudson Valley Ravelry group, and it's concerning an ASPCA fundraiser. So I got a message on Ravelry from, her name is Maya, M-A-Y-A. Her Ravelry name is, I guess it's Selkhet, S-E-L-K-H-E-T. But her and her sister are doing this ride in New York City. It's usually called she's calling it the TD 5-borough bike ride in May. And it's basically, I used to do this ride in New York City. It's about, if I remember correctly, it's about a 45-mile bike ride in New York City. They actually closed down the roads, and she and her sister are doing a fundraiser for the ASPCA, which is a really worthy cause. I have already donated. I don't have pets because I can't. My husband's very allergic, but I jumped at the opportunity to help homeless pets who are not getting any love. So she's doing this. The fundraiser is done through the Fibery Podcast with Emily. And I put a link to her thread in my thread. So she is going to be drawing a name. So and how it works is for every $5 you donate, you get a chance to win. And I have decided to go stash diving, and she's going to be pulling an extra name, and you could win this skein of Lorna's Laces Soulmate from my stash. And I love this colorway, so this is like a big deal. If you haven't knit with Lorna Laces Soulmate before, it's a great sturdy sock yarn, and these colors are beautiful. I got it at the height of the rainbow craze. So this will go to a lucky winner, and it's my way of, since I can't have a pet, I just decided to do a little extra. And I just wanted to say, if you do decide to get a pet, please adopt a pet. There's so many animals out there without homes that need a home, and there's just no reason to be going out and buying a pet that is bred when there's so many already alive that need a home. So that is the big announcement for today. The senior level long goes on. All the details are in the group, so nothing really new to report there. And we're heading towards that 200-member pattern giveaway. So there will be a 200-member pattern giveaway. So if you haven't joined the group, please join the group, and you could win a pattern up to $10 once we hit 200 members. All right, so works in progress. This past week, I worked primarily on the test knit I was doing for, her name is Amelia Putri, and she's Amelia Put on Instagram, and that's how I met her. But she is Peppy Put on Ravelry. So anyway, here is her pattern. She's calling Krakatoa, and I don't know if I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. I am knitting it out of Malabrigo sock yarn and the colorway Candombe, and I don't know if I'm saying that right either. Oh, see, now I'm all messed up. All right, so this is not good light. Let me try this. Try a little something. I'm going to put this on my hand because it's really beautiful. I want you to see the lace pattern. Oh, yeah. See? It's a beautiful lace pattern sock that I'm test knitting for her. Here's the back. You know, I found my sock blockers too, and I should have pulled them out. You can see here's the heel flap. So this is, I'm like heading down the foot now, and I'm going to finish the first foot, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to rip it back out. The pattern as she's written it, which is how I knit it because I'm test knitting, is to have a lace heel flap. And you know what? I don't want to have a lace heel flap because I want it to last longer. So I'm going to finish knitting it for the integrity of the test knitting. And then I'm actually, you know what? I should rip it out now. I don't know. I'll ask her what she thinks. If she doesn't mind, maybe I'll rip it out now before I go ahead and finish the whole sock. But I really do want a sturdier heel. So I really, really love this, and I can't wait to finish these socks. And that is in my Amy Beth bag. It's one of my favorites of all time. I also worked on my son's socks, which are patent Croy socks. And hasn't been going especially well. Two things happened. One thing, and I'm not sure, forgive me if I showed you this last week, is we found, I think I did, I found a slip stitch on the completed sock. So I'm going to have to sew this in. For now, I just kind of have it, you know, safely caught, if you will. But this sock, other than that, came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with the Croy sock yarn. I knit it on the smaller size ones, the square needles from, I always forget the name. Hold on, I have, come on. Wow. I always forget the name of these needles, and I shouldn't because I really like them a lot. But I'm knitting them on smaller size ones, which is 2.25 millimeters square DPNs, and I'm really enjoying the experience. And I highly recommend these needles. And therefore, I have to fit the name of the brand. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot. So I will definitely post that in the show notes, but highly recommended by me. But here's what I'm not liking. So I'm at the second pair. And here's what I did. I did drop a stitch on this one too, but I caught this one and I didn't really repair it very well. And you can see here how it's like off. Let me put my hand in it so it's more, hold on now. It's right here. And you can see it right here. I think what I did is when I hooked it up, the ladder, the drop stitch that is, I think I missed a row. And it kind of looks weird. See, now you can't see it. Hold on now. It's here. It's noticeable. Where'd it go? Okay, call me a liar. Where'd the... Anyways. Oh, here it is. It's in the fold. Here it is. I'm not going back now. But it just kind of go off. The other thing I did differently on these because I was lazy is I didn't slip like where the color change, you know, when you go around. Usually you kind of slip one stitch so you don't have that jog. And I didn't do that on this sock, and you can tell. So pocketbook knitting, so not as much done on this. Like I said, my main focus has been the test knitting socks because I know how important it is to get those results back before you put a pattern out, and I want to get that done for her. One more work in progress to show you, a project I haven't shown you in a while, but I did pick it up this past week and kind of banged out a lot of it, and this is the Cambio Cow by Lauren Elkin. It's a kit, and I have it in the Vertigo colorway, which I believe is the colorway shown on this cover here. It's a gorgeous pattern. It's a well-written pattern. It's a great quality kit. And let me just show you kind of like where we are with this. I gotta get the light because, oh, it's beautiful. It is gorgeous. Love these colors better than the other one, I think. Yeah. I'm trying to get the sunlight from my window. So I wish I could spread it out more because it's really beautiful colors. I'm just starting to get into like a yellow in the variant colorway. But here's the deal with this. So one of the things I knit, I don't know if you saw any of my Christmas ones, but I knit one in like an autumnal colorway, and I gave it to my other sister for Christmas. This is from my sister Lisa. And one of the things that Laura suggests in her pattern, and it's optional, is to take the end and kind of fold it over and make like a hem. And I did not do that with Kim's, and I did even with blocking. She says it's kind of curling up on her. So I am going to take it back from her and sew it up. So I'll definitely do that for this one before I give it to my sister Lisa. But this is really like, I just banged it out over the weekend and it came out so beautiful, and I just love this pattern. And this is a great pattern that I can use with mixing with a solid and variant colorway that go together. And I was thinking that just to bring it up out of the blue, I know a little out of the blue, but I bought those beautiful yarns from Jill Draper Makes Stuff, and I showed you at the last episode about Vogue. Those would be great for knitting this, and I intend to use those for the Follow Your Arrow pattern by Isolde Teague. I'm not going to knit it right away, but it's a large skein, and I should have a lot of yarn left over and probably plenty to make one of these beautiful cows, and I can't wait. So that is that. Oh, I forgot to put the pattern back in it. So that's it for work in progress. No finished objects. Just a little news. My shawl pattern is with the test knitter. It's been with her for a week, and she said it might be a couple of weeks before I hear back from her. And so if you, not the test knitter, the tech editor, if you had volunteered to test edit, hopefully within the next week or so, I'll be sending you a pattern, and I will get in touch with you personally by email offline. And if you're still interested, let me know. I wouldn't mind a couple more if you're interested. Sure. All right. So, stash enhancement. I won this from a North Cabin Fiber Arts giveaway on the Knitting Blooms podcast, and I want to publicly say thank you. It's a great prize, and I want to thank Tina and the folks at North Cabin Fiber Arts for this lovely donation. It is, the colorway is called Patio Cushion, and it's beautiful browns, kind of like a reddish brown and blues, and it's just gorgeous. And the fiber it says Norwegian, which I'm not familiar with. It's definitely be a first. It does seem kind of rustic, and yeah, I think it'll be perfect for practicing my long draw, because it's definitely not, well, it is kind of combed, but I think and it's very sticky. I'll have to look it up, and I'll definitely practice my woolen spun with this. But thank you again. I'm really excited about it. I also broke my New Year's resolution and bought some sock yarn from Knitter's Nightmare called Puppy Love. It's a 3-stripe self-striping yarn, and I just love the colorway. And you know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of March when we start knitting for St. Patty's Day. I don't know. And I thought these would be good man colors. And I don't know. We'll see. I might keep it. But I love this. I grabbed it. Whatever. Oh, another stash enhancement. Another bag. I seem to have this thing for Joanna Spring bags. I really do love them. They're really basic bucket bags with a drawstring. But I love the fabrics she chooses, and I love her workmanship is very good. Here's the inside. And this is the smaller of the bags. So now I have 3 Joanna Spring bags, official. And I think it's officially my favorite. Hers or Amy Best. It's kind of a tie, and I love the tangerine bags, but tangerine design bags are also really wonderful. And this is how Joanna sends her bags, wrapped up in these little brown paper bags. And she gives you a little stitch marker, which is really cool. So thank you, Joanna Springs, for enabling me to, again, break my resolution. And lastly, I have some spinning for you. And I'm really going through this quick, but it's okay because I was actually at the end, I'm going to talk to you about needle storage and organization. So this is my spinning for you. This is Spirit Trail Fiberworks. Targi is the fiber. I forget the colorway. Let me look at my stash. The colorway is Cherry Tree, and I think it's beautiful. And I love Spirit Trail Fiberworks. So don't judge me by what you see, because I started this off trying to spin woolen spun. It's long draw, and it wasn't going very well. So I consulted with a friend of mine on the West Coast. Her name is Renee, and I met her through when she came up here for Rhinebeck. Definitely lost my train of thought there. She came up for Rhinebeck, and she kind of put it out there in the forums that she was looking for people to have dinner with Friday night. So I shouted out to her, and that's how I met Renee. And she's an amazing spinner. And she just so happened to post on Facebook that, ooh, look what I found, a boo-boo. That she was, see, I'm not a good spinner yet. I'm a terrible spinner. Actually, it's so thin. I should have just taken that out. Judging myself. Anyway, she told me that it's stick to like a short forward draw and increase the spin. And it came out okay. I made some major errors. So here's a good example of it. So basically there were some spots where I spun it extremely too thin. Let me see if I can see that. And it kind of, when I spun it up, it's like a protrusion. And another spot, it actually broke when I was I didn't notice it until I was putting it on the Nitty Knotty. One of the plies actually broke in a very thin spot, so I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about it. So I just thought when I come to it, when I'm knitting whatever I end up knitting with this, that I guess maybe I'll end a row with it and then start a new row or something of that nature. So I'm not sure, but I mean, some of it looks really good, and I do think I'm getting better at this, but you could tell I kind of laxed in a few places. So another thing in spinning that I wanted to show you, this is Unwind Yarn Company's, and it is, it's Polworth. Let me see. Yeah, 85% Polworth and 15% silk in the colorway called Transylvania Tramp. I love the color and I love the fiber. And this, I think, came out really good. Although one bobbin looks like it has a significant amount more than the other. So I must have weighed it wrong or something like that. Aren't they beautiful? So one looks a little lighter than the other. I'm trying to get it so that the light doesn't ruin it. That's better. This is definitely lighter of the two, and I just can't wait to see what this looks like when I apply it. Now, I wanted to show you something that I learned from the ladies at my local spinning group. I was trying to learn chain plying, and I brought it with me to the spinning group meeting, and my bobbins were just like spinning like crazy and spinning back on themselves. And one of them showed me a trick. I took some cotton yarn and basically put some holes at the end. You can see right there. And then to hold them tight, I kind of stick them in the edge of the box, and I can actually kind of give them a little tug and make them tighter. And I just put that down. And then this one goes under the bobbin on this side, and it goes over the bobbin on this side. And I tried it with that other, the Targhee that I just showed you, and it's great. And I don't have to spend $100 on a Lazy Kate. So I have a tension Lazy Kate, and it costs me nothing. So basically, I just wanted to share that idea with you. I'm sure some of you have already heard of it, or there's a video, but I just figure I put it out there because I didn't know about it until someone showed me. So looking forward to plying this up this week. Actually, maybe even later today. So that's my spinning, and that's actually it. That's it. It's a short one. Oh, well, wait. My needles. Yeah, so I knew it would be a short one. And I know a lot of people have talked about needle storage. And a lot of people like really fancy, beautiful needle storage, and that's fine. You know, and that's really, it is perfectly fine. But I just kind of I went for practical and cheap because I'd rather spend my money on yarn. So basically this is my needle storage. These are all my needles, for the most part, in this little bin. The only other needles I have are straight needles that were my grandma's. And that's different. I don't typically use them, but I'll never get rid of them because they're special. So in here, I have a bunch of stuff. So you can see I have two sets of Haya interchangeables. One's a sharp, one's not a sharp. And they're both the 2 to 8 size needles. I have my Knit Picks DPNs. And then this is how I store the rest. And these two are my cables for my Knit Picks interchangeables, which are, all around, I think Knit Picks are the best bang for your buck. They're great needles, great customer service. If you have any issues with your needles, they replace them unconditionally. I bought needles years ago, and they have still replaced them because I said, well, this is the first time I've used it. So I highly recommend Knit Picks interchangeables. So what I do is I have these organized by size, and they're basically in these little $1 pencil cases that I got at Walmart, and I got the bin at Walmart. So yeah, I keep all sizes, all tips, all circular, all DPNs, all go in the same thing according to their size. Here's all my 3s. So with the exception of the Hayas, which I keep in the cases they came with, but even my signatures are in here. You can see them in there. Oh, here's the square needles. They're collage. And I have them in with the rest of my 5s. I haven't used the size 5 yet. But this system works really good for me. I put the needle size on the outside of the bag, and I actually have everything in here according to needle size. And yeah, like I said, it just works perfectly for me. I also have this I got as a gift. This is the sock set from Haya. And I actually put all my 40-inch 1s and 2s in this, even despite, what brand. So I got all my Hayas in here that they came with. But I also put, like, you can see my Chiagus are in there, which I like a lot, except for the cable, so I don't use them much. The tips I love. The smoothness of them, the pointiness of them, everything about the tips is just perfection. But I don't like the cable because it's not flexible enough for me. I prefer the Hayas. And speaking of which, Hayas are definitely my favorite needle, price-wise and performance-wise. I love them for all those reasons. I love them for the way they present them in these beautiful cases. I love them for the join, I love the pointiness, the smoothness, the cables. I love everything about Haya Haya. Except for the fact when I did have a crappy needle, I had to mail them back. And that's a pain in the neck. But I guess they do that so they're not taken advantage of. My second favorite is Signature. And the reason they're my second favorite is the cost. I don't believe you should have to pay that much for needles, but I like them enough that I do, but I don't buy as many of them as I will the Haya Hayas. And if you ask me, the Haya Hayas are as good, if not better, than Signatures, in my opinion. It's so personal. I also keep my crochet hooks in here in a little case I got something from Knit Picks in. And I have a lot of crochet hooks, and a lot of these were from like when I was a kid, because I've been crocheting for a long time. And then I keep my little pom-pom makers. In the bottom of the bin, I just hold on to all the packaging, like especially for the Signatures, which I did sell a couple of my Signatures away. And that is my needle storage system. So if you like it, you can take it. If you don't, you can ignore it. And it actually sits on the floor right by my desk. And before I go, I hope you don't mind if I do this, but I got this as a gift. It's a lazy cape for a Ashford spinner. And I don't have an Ashford spinner. And obviously the person that bought this for me doesn't understand that, you know, your lazy cape has to kind of match your spinner because of the size of the bobbins. So I'm not sure how much these go for, but does anyone want to buy this off of me? Let me know. Send me a PM. We'll definitely work out something reasonable for both of us, and I'll ship it out to you. I can't use it. I feel terrible. If I don't hear from anybody, I'll bring it to my knitting meetup group, and maybe someone there can use it. All right? So that's it. And yeah, thanks for listening to me. I hope to get back to you next week. It is Super Bowl Sunday. So I might not record on Sunday, but maybe Monday or Tuesday I'll record. I think I'm pushing it out a little now because, you know, it's harder for me to record and put the podcast up on Sunday now that Downton Abbey is going on. So I think I'm going to push it weekly to kind of like Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, and like I said, I'm trying for weekly, but if I can't, I'm not sweating over it. This is totally about having fun and enjoying myself. So I have enough pressure at work. So I don't need any more with the podcast. This is just me having fun with you and talking about my stuff, which I love to do. So you guys have a great week. I'll talk to you next week. Please check out my group on Ravelry, Hudson Valley Knits. And if you really like my podcast, please leave me a good review on iTunes. I really appreciate that. And you guys have a great week. Ciao for now.